All right, guys. So Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight just finished. I'm gonna give a breakdown of what the hell we just watched. Um, it was 8 2-minute rounds, 14-ounce gloves, and after the first 20 seconds, you probably realized, oh shit, Mike Tyson might get knocked out. And I actually was nervous for him. I'm not gonna lie. Going into the fight, I thought Jake Paul would be able to get smothered a little bit more because I saw it in the Nate Diaz fight. I saw it in the Anderson Silva fight where he just got smothered, but he used good boxing angles um, in this fight. But we just got to be honest with what we just saw. We saw a 58-year-old man who's 31 years older than his adversary, his opponent, Jake Paul. And we just saw that. And we saw the legs weren't there. We saw Mike Tyson on his heels a lot, not figuratively going backwards, but on his heels when he was moving. He had no balance. His balance was really bad. And you have to understand, with the peekaboo style, with Mike Tyson's style, it's all about athleticism. That's why he was so good when he was younger, and he kind of tailed off when he got into his 27 to 30-ish, 40-ish years old, right? Maybe even maybe like 29, 30. Because you have to understand, when you have that explosiveness, that torque in your body, you only can do that for several years of your life, of your career. That prime athleticism doesn't stay with you forever. And it just showed that. You could say Mike Tyson partied a lot. He did a lot of cocaine. He essayed some girls or whatever. You could say all that. He wasn't training as hard because Cuss died. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The way that he fights, the way that Conor McGregor fights, those guys, you need to understand, those guys have like the touch of death. And when you have the touch of death that he has, especially as a smaller heavyweight, which Mike Tyson is, it's harder for him to carry that explosivity in his older years, right? That's in the 30s. So now we're talking about even 30 years past that at 58, and there's no way you can hold that. Did you see how many times he tried that jump left hook? You've seen him knock people out with that jump left hook. Let me try to find some Mike Tyson lead left hook. Look, you see, like you've seen him try this many times, right? Like when he was younger. You've seen him try this many times when he was this lead left hook. It's not, you shouldn't be able to do this in boxing because you're open. But him, because he's so much more explosive than these guys and powerful and faster, that it works. But at 58, it doesn't work anymore. And that's what it is. And we need to see what Jake Paul did well, which was keep the jab on him. He kept the jab on him, which was beautiful. And Mike Tyson looked fatigued after 30 seconds of the first fight. He didn't look like he wanted to be there. I'm not saying he looked worried when he got there to the ring, but he did not look like the same killer that we saw 30 years ago. And obviously he's 58, but I mean, he was just not the same guy. You have to think that Mike Tyson, he's always been the more explosive guy when he fights and the quicker guy. And today he was not that. So that's just what it is. Next, let's be honest too. Jake Paul didn't want to knock him out. Jake Paul didn't want to knock him out. You could see he was putting like 50 or 60% of punches on him, throwing jab, jab, lead hook, jab, jab, uppercut. He was not trying to knock him out. You saw it. You know it. Even he was even asked by Errol Hawani in the post-fight interview saying, "Did you try to knock him out?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I tried," and then basically kind of avoiding the question. But you have to understand that these guys are marketing themselves, right? You don't want to knock Mike Tyson out. Like, why? Why? You know you're better than him. Jake Paul is making $40 million. Mike Tyson's making 20. And Mike Tyson, he knew that he was outmatched in this fight. How many times did he bite his gloves? He bites his gloves out of frustration because he sees the shot. Well, let me see that photo of him biting his glove. So he sees the shot. That's the problem. That's why he bites his glove. So he made a miss. If you understand boxing, he was getting the rhythm of Jake Paul's timing. You saw a couple times when Jake Paul threw combinations that he would roll, slip, float. He would do all this stuff well, and he sees it. He sees the rhythm of his punches. He got his timing down, but he couldn't capitalize because he's just too slow. And that's just what it was. So that's why he was biting his gloves more often than anyone's ever seen, because he knows, he goes, fuck, man, if I was 28, if I was 20, I would fuck this dude up right now. And he knew he couldn't do it. And that's why he wasn't letting go of his punches, because he knew that if he let go of his punches, he would get countered. And he knew that if it was he would get countered, and he knew that Jake Paul is decent enough to create angles where he just misses and whiffs, right? And what gets you more tired than whiffing a big shot? Nothing, right? Nothing. Maybe a liver shot or a jab to the body, but whiffing on big hooks, on overhands is awful. So that's basically my assessment of what happened. I mean, I think if I was Mike Tyson, if I was handling his career, I would have definitely would have fought some 40-year-olds first, some 50-year-olds. Maybe you fight um who's like a 40-year-old he could fight. Maybe fight Evander Holyfield. Maybe I don't know what the fuck's Riddick Bowe doing, but he'll fight somebody like that. Um I mean, he already fought Roy Jones, but like you need to fight somebody like that, garner a name, maybe knock some of those guys out, right? That's what he should have done. Because Evander Holyfield, I mean, if you watched his fight like 2 years ago versus Vitor Belfort, he was juiced to the gills, and he got stopped in the first round. And Mike Tyson looked better than him. And Mike Tyson's neck, first of all, his neck is insane. He has a chin. Jake Paul, even though he wasn't throwing full force, Jake Paul, he touched him. He touched him, and Jake Paul's a big dude, so that's just what it is. For people saying it's rigged, I mean, what did you expect? The guy's 58. You don't want. He's 58. What did you expect? So that's just what it is. I would have had Mike Tyson fight 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 older guys. Get some blood going, right? Get some blood going, and then maybe people think, oh yeah, he's back. Oh, he's knocking people out again. Oh man, Mike Tyson might be back. But he obviously knew that he wasn't the same guy. He knew he wasn't the same guy that he used to be. He knew that he was going to lose. Let's be honest. He knew he was going to lose. And he he just came up for a payday, $20 million. I watched the fight with my uncle, and my uncle was like, why are we watching this? Why is Jake Paul fighting? And I'm like, Jake Paul's a smart guy. He makes a lot of money fighting people that he should beat, and people watch. People like us, we watch. And that's just what it is. Why wouldn't we watch? It's entertaining. So stop hating on Jake Paul. Stop hating on Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson did what he had to do. People didn't want to boo him in the crowd because obviously he's Mike Tyson. He's done so much for the sport. He made a great, he said something good. He said, someone asked him about his legacy, and he goes, legacy is another word for ego, which is 100% the fact, right? So someone should tell that up to LeBron James. But your legacy is just your ego. And Mike Tyson prides himself about being a man with no ego, and he fought like it today, right? He fought like he didn't have the ego. He fought like, because if he did have an ego, he'd be like, I'm fucking Mike Tyson. I'm gonna knock his ass out, and went for it. But he didn't. He stayed cautious. He kept his guard up, right? He kept his guard up like this, and he didn't push forward like he usually does. I thought my prediction was he was gonna cut the ring off. He was gonna cut the ring off and unload some punches to Jake Paul, and then clinch up after like the first minute of every round, and try to steal the round that way. Basically, the Oscar De La Hoya to Floyd Mayweather, but Oscar De La Hoya did it in the later rounds, in the later part of the round. So that's what I thought was going to happen. But Mike Tyson couldn't even find him, and Mike Tyson knew that, and Jake Paul knew. Okay, all I got to do is stick the jab, move, right, pivot out, create boxing angles, and he did that. So that's my assessment of the fight. Jake Paul, do not fight Canelo Alvarez. And you know he's not going to fight him. You know he's not going to fight Alex Pereira because Alex Pereira's under contract. Honestly, if he's going to fight an older guy, fight Tony Bellew. Why not? I mean, he's old. How old is Tony Bellew right now? And he's a respected fighter. The thing is, he's old. He's 41. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Not yet. Let me see. Or maybe fight. He beat BJ Flores. That'll be a good story. Yeah, I don't know who to fight. He should fight. Don't fight anybody that's, unless you're fighting journeyman, don't fight anybody that's over 50 or under 35, because you're just going to keep making money, and that's smart. So anyways, guys, thank you. Have a good one.